Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to talk about KEMADRUM yoga and its misconceptions which people have in mind. So we are going to talk about the real and true significance of this yoga, what happens, how this yoga is formed in a horoscope, and what are its actual results, and what are the misconceptions that people have regarding this yoga in their mind. So let's talk about it. KEMADRUM yoga is a yoga which is formed by moon in a native's horoscope, in anyone's horoscope. When moon is placed alone in horoscope, then KEMADRUM yoga is formed. Now, what does this mean? This means that moon is sitting alone in a house without any conjunction, and no planet is sitting in the second house from the moon and the 12th house from the moon. That is, no planet is sitting in front of the moon and at the back side of the moon. Moon is alone. For example, moon is in the 6th house and no planet is sitting in the 7th house. No planet is sitting with the moon and no planet is sitting in the 5th house. So this when these conditions occur in a horoscope, then this means that KEMADRUM yoga is occurring in the horoscope. Now people have huge misconceptions that this yoga is the most dreadful yoga after Kalsarp yoga. Actually, I will talk about that Kalsarp also, that Kalsarp yoga does not actually exist in reality. So many people have misconceptions regarding that also, but now today we are talking about only KEMADRUM dosh or KEMADRUM yoga. So this is how KEMADRUM yoga is formed in a horoscope, and people have in mind that this yoga is very dreadful regarding their financial status, financial conditions. If they are having this yoga, they will have life like a pauper, they will live like a beggar, they will not have any money throughout their lifetime. These kinds of misconceptions they have in their mind, that if they are having this yoga, they will live like a loner, they will have no money, and they will spend their life with a very poor financial condition. So we are just going to discuss that what is the true significance of this yoga. All these things which people have in mind, that this yoga creates the poor financial condition, is wrong. This yoga does not create this condition. This yoga, for that, if a poor financial condition is occurring in the horoscope, then you have to see other combinations. Other combinations and other planets are responsible for that. For that you have to see 2nd, 6th and 11th house, not this yoga. The real significance of this yoga is that this yoga makes the person lonely. This yoga makes the person lonely and makes the person to know himself, because moon is your mind, and when mind is alone, that means you are alone. You have no support of other planets, you have no support of other people. Now you like to live a lonely life, and most of the people who have this yoga like to live a lonely life in a secluded and isolated place. They even though they have their public life, but they are not socialistic. Even though they have their public life, but they like to live like a loner in the isolated places. They want to live in seclusion. So this yoga creates this kind of condition, that person wants to live alone, person wants to know himself by living alone, and the socialism of the person is reduced. The socialistic nature will not be there, because your mind is alone and it doesn't want any support of other planets, and no planets are also supporting that. So if there is no support, that means that moon is alone, and now the person is living lonely life. So this yoga symbolizes this. But this yoga is not dreadful. Even this yoga helps the person in knowing himself, because when you live alone, then only that is the time when you are able to know yourself actually. So this yoga helps in that. then this KEMADRUM yoga gives the person originality in his field of interest. This yoga is like a boon to the people who have this, because this yoga gives people a sense of originality in the field of their interest. Okay, and these people have their opinion, have their sense of creativity, and these people are more sort of towards inventing things, towards making original things rather than being a mere copycat. So these people have their sense of creativity and originality in their mind, which makes them original in nature, and they always do original things. They do not copy and paste the things. So this yoga gives these tendencies to the people who have this. Now this yoga, even though if it is properly occurring, one thing I would like to tell, that when Rahu or Ketu are sitting in the second or 12th house of the moon, that is also considered as the KEMADRUM yoga. Rahu and Ketu do not nullify this yoga. So if Rahu and Ketu are sitting, then also KEMADRUM yoga will be considered. Now even if this yoga is occurring properly in your horoscope, but still it doesn't mean that you will have a very poor financial condition. You will not be able to gain money throughout your lifetime. This doesn't symbolizes that. Actually, what is the case here, when this yoga occurs, this means that this yoga wants the person to become self-dependent. The more you are dependent on others, especially financially, if you are dependent on other people, then this yoga will give you negative results, because this yoga wants the person to stand upon his own feet. This yoga wants the person to become self-dependent, to make his own living and not be dependent on others, because moon is alone. That means your mind is alone, and it is naturally not getting any support from other planets. So if you are finding support deliberately, then this yoga starts to give negative results. Then people say that this yoga is creating malefic results in their life. And actually what this yoga is doing is making you self-dependent. The moment you get self-dependent in your life, this yoga starts to get nullified in your horoscope. And most of the time this yoga when this yoga occurs properly, so it affects one's childhood, because moon is also representing mother. So there can be separated life of the mother and the child. But actually what this yoga is wanting you to become self-dependent. If you are becoming self-dependent, that there will be no malefic results of this yoga. So this is how KEMADRUM yoga is seen, and what it truly means in Vedic astrology. This is not a dreadful yoga. This is not a yoga which you have to fear with. Okay, so this is a yoga which is a blessing in disguise. This is a yoga which is a boon to yourself, because it is making you self-dependent. It is giving you sense of creativity, sense of originality in your field of interest. And many people who are quite famous, who are of international fame, have this yoga. And people say that this yoga, when this yoga occurs, people have poor financial condition. Bill Gates has this yoga. If technically we speak, Bill Gates have this yoga, and all of us know how poor Bill Gates is. Okay, so Bill Gates technically have this yoga in his horoscope. Michael Jackson had this yoga in his horoscope. Michael Jackson was a very lonely person in his private life, though his public life was very huge. He has billions of fans across the globe, but he wants to spend his life alone. So this yoga made him self-dependent from the childhood, and he was able to earn through his own efforts. So this yoga is not a yoga which is considered to be malefic. This yoga gives you the ability to make your own living through your own efforts. So this yoga is not dreadful and fearful. Now let's talk about the conditions when this yoga is nullified, when this yoga is negated. When in a horoscope Jupiter is aspecting the moon, then this yoga is nullified. That is not counted as KEMADRUM yoga. If Jupiter is aspecting the moon, then KEMADRUM yoga is nullified. The second condition is when at least 3 or more planets other than Jupiter are aspecting moon, then this yoga doesn't occur, it is nullified. So these are the two conditions when this yoga is nullified, when this yoga is negated. Now if KEMADRUM yoga is occurring in 4th house, 8th house, 9th house and 12th house, this yoga makes the person very spiritual, and person has his own mindset and rules of life. So you can see that this yoga is not creating malefic results for you. It will create malefic results only when you are not becoming self-dependent. The moment you become self-dependent, this yoga is vanished out from your horoscope. So this is how we have seen that what this yoga actually means, what is its true symbolization, and how this yoga occurs, how this yoga is negated, and what are the actual things that it brings out in a person's life, that it wants to bring out in a person's life. So we have seen in detail that what is KEMADRUM yoga and what are its effects. So if you are new to my channel, subscribe below. If you have any queries, you can mail me on my email ID. It's written in the description. For more information, you can check on my Facebook and Twitter page. Their links are also given in the description. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video, and we will talk about some more curious topic related to Vedic astrology. Till then, goodbye and thank you.